guys, what's up and welcome back to Dynasty Football Live. As always, my name is Byron. This is my co-host Manny. Today we're going to be bringing you our 2023 Dynasty Football running back rankings. I'm excited about this because this is pretty much the most valuable position in all of fantasy football, especially Dynasty. For me, there's a lot of good, talented people on this board. It's going to be tough to fill this list out the way we feel it needs to be filled out, but we're going to do our best here. Remember, guys, this is for the 2023 up-and-coming season. Please pay attention if you're buying or selling these running backs in Dynasty Football, and if you're doing a startup draft. This is going to help you. We're picking the best of the best, youngest best to, a little bit older guys. You might see them mid-tier now. Used to be elite, not so elite anymore. So you're gonna get the best of the best here with us. So with that being said, Manny, go ahead and take that first running back in the S for us.
All right. Yeah, I think like Brian was saying, this is a very important position. I'm currently in the middle of a deep, hopefully close to ending rebuild in my dynasty league. So last year it was injuries and chaos. I was starting fullbacks. It was disgusting. So I'm going to wish I had this guy. This is one of the elite guys. He had a down year last year, injuries, plus the line just wasn't performing. The quarterback wasn't performing. It was just kind of a lack of a better word, kind of a shit show at Indianapolis. So the pick here as the number one running back for me, hopefully in a bounce back year, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor.
Absolutely. JT all day, baby. Love this guy, man. Can't go wrong with this one. For me, he was everything and anything, everything and anything that you could ever want a running back. If I could mold a running back, it would be between this guy and Saquon Barkley. So with that being said, my next pick is not Saquon. Sorry, guys. It is Christian McCaffrey. This guy, there's nothing to be said about Christian McCaffrey. Everyone knows who he is. He's still young. Got traded to the 49ers. They have been using him the way that we all dreamed they would use him. Really elite running back. Can't go wrong. He's a very, very good pass catcher. Very, very, very patient runner. And boy, when he hits them holes, he is gone. So for me, definitely Christian McCaffrey here. Could possibly be ahead of Jonathan Taylor. So I feel it's 1A and 1B here. Can't go wrong, can't miss. They're both young. They're both studs. A little bit of injury history there with CMC, but hopefully he's past that and has recovered fully from all the terrible things that has happened the past 2 years that has held him back in fantasy football. So who we got after CMC, Manny?
No, that's actually a great pick. And I think after that trade from the Panthers, he completely took off. They were using him as a bell cow running back. He was a league winner for sure after that trade. So I agree with you. And I think it's going to continue, especially with the questions at quarterback. They're going to be feeding him all day long. So he, like you said, he might be number one. We'll see what happens there. But I think he's definitely in the elite category here. As far as who's next, I think you're going to be surprised, and maybe you're going to disagree with this, but I think this guy has been disrespected, but he's always been, not always, but recently, maybe the last 2 to 3 years, he's been extremely, extremely productive. And for me, I can already see like shaking your head. I don't know if you're shaking your head, but I can feel it. It's coming. Austin Eckler.
Hey,
he can catch it.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
He can run it. He's stronger than he looks. He's small, but he's super strong. He's well built. He's fast. He can do it all. So I think it's time that we give him some respect. He's definitely, for me, one of the elite running backs in this league now, especially for what he did last year. So what do you think?
I like Eckler, man. Very, very, very good out of the backfield. Same as CMC. He can get down. He can hurt you either way, man. He can hurt you with the power. He can hurt you with the catching. All the receiving there with this guy. The very best receiving running back in all of fantasy football. In all of fantasy football. Remember that, guys. Eckler will get you them receiving yards. Very, very. Everyone sleeps on him on that category, but he is the best at the position.
And he has great contact balance too. He doesn't go down easy, even though he's small.
No.
So
Eckler's a dog, bro. Love the pick, and I think he belongs up here. I'm gonna go with our next elite running back, and he had a bounce back year. Battled some injuries too. My favorite running back coming out, and still one of my favorite running backs in the entire league, Saquon Barkley. There is no one that I'm putting over him here at this point. Saquon came back and really put the league back on notice and let them know, hey, I'm still Saquon, baby. Y'all don't forget about me. This dude, like I said, same thing. Multi-talented back, hits them holes. Not much of a power runner as he is a finesse runner. I feel like he's very patient with holes. Can really break them, like he always has when he came out. So for me, Saquon Barkley here, man.
Sounds good. Honestly, I think we're done with the elites. Are you? Well,
I think there's one more, but and if we get into the the A's, and I feel like we need to move one up, we'll move them up. So
okay,
if you can't find one here, we'll go ahead and go with the A category.
Okay, sounds good. For me, I think this guy, I think he's elite. He's a very, very strong performer. I just worry about his age. He's getting up there in age. I think I think he's actually kind of underrated, even though this team likes to run the ball a lot. I think this guy, for me, it's borderline elite. I don't know if we're on the same page on this guy, but for me, I'm sorry, had some trouble finding him. Aaron Jones. So what do you think? Is this the guy you were thinking of or no?
Almost there with him. The guy I was really thinking would be Nick Chubb at this point.
Ooh, yeah. It's just, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's getting the carry. He's kind of getting up there in age though, but he doesn't bring a lot in the receiving game.
He is year in and year out a dog, bro.
Oh, no, extremely consistent.
Chubb for me right here. I've got to go with Chubb. I'm sorry, man. I know you're a Packers fan. We can slide Chubb in there, though.
No. I completely agree. Honestly,
yeah.
The faces are getting me. They wear helmets. So.
Hey, that's why here at Dynasty Football Live, man. Hey, we change stuff up. We can flip flop. We can agree to disagree. You guys, we also want to hear what you guys think down in the comments. Let us know. Hey, man, we feel like Chubb is in the elite category. Why ain't he up there with the S's? For me, Chubb has been one of the more consistent running backs since he came out at his rookie year. It really hasn't hit a wall, really hasn't had that many injury questions. Dude has, you draft Chubb on your team. He's if you're elite, you are a set it and forget it type running back. He's borderline getting there towards, he might start winding down, but I think those years are coming probably 2025. So for me, Chubb hurt me last year too, man. He was a hard one to face week in and week out. So Nick Chubb, if he's available, if you can buy him, if you can get him, or if you have him on your team, you're getting a dog. So
no, I completely agree. I was looking through the faces and I just missed overlooked him. I completely agree with you, especially now that Hunt's out there. It's it's no longer with the team. He's even probably going to take even more of a feature role, even though he was already a featured running back. So no, absolutely elite. And hopefully, next year he continues with the production and maybe takes to the next level. And he doesn't wind down because he is a little bit older there. Let's see. For me, who's next?
One more time, right here, Aaron Jones. I love him right here at first to the A's. I love Aaron Jones, man. Let's keep him there. Like you said, Aaron Jones. For me, Aaron Jones, he has come in and been the guy, and now he's got AJ Dillon breathing down his neck. But the dude still ain't missed a beat. He's like, hey, man, I signed a 4-year deal here. You can back me up. We can be buddies. But you ain't taking the starting gig. Dude has held that role, and he is a pass catching machine. I love Aaron Jones.
Yeah, me too. And I think one of the things that's really impressive about him is his catching ability. I know we talked about Eckler, being a great receiver. Aaron Jones is not just a great receiver. He makes some very athletic catches that most running backs would not make. So very, very, very good receiver out of the backfield, and runs really hard for his size. He's a small running back, but he's fairly durable and very productive. So I like him here in the A's. The guy who I want next here is, I would consider an A. What concerns me is contract situation. A lot of guys in the second contract kind of, they either embrace the challenge or take a step back. Maybe they're happy with the money and kind of not work as hard. So let's see what happens here. But I think Jacobs here is next for me here. He had a great season last year. And hopefully it wasn't just about the contract, but it was about getting some respect after they declined his fifth-year option. So Jacobs is my pick here.
Yeah, about Jacobs, man, what can be said? NFL's leading rusher last year, won the rushing title. They pissed this dude off. They said, hey, man, we're declining your fifth year. And now they franchise tagged him because they don't want to let him go. So happy for Jacobs there, man. I love to see people come back and say, hey, man, you slept on me. So love it. Yeah. Next guy I got right here behind Jacobs, for me, I like to keep the younger guys up here, especially what we saw from this guy his rookie year. I'm taking Najee Harris right here. I'm a big believer in this guy. I think that he brings the heat. He brought it his rookie year, man. He's in a loaded offense there in Pittsburgh. This dude, he does it all. I mean, he's been everything as advertised coming out of Alabama. I love Najee right here, man. And if I had the chance to go back and draft him number 1 overall and have that pick in our draft, I would have taken this dude all day long. So Najee right here for me.
All right. I just realized we have a guy here. We have a couple of guys here who are board. I mean, I guess they were elite. The question is, are they still? How elite are they? Right? Are they kind of at the beginning, at the end of the elite section? Are they beginning of the A? Are they kind of in the middle of the A's? This guy, had some injuries last year. But he was healthy. He produced, and I think for me, Derrick Henry should still be considered in the A's here. Do you think he's good there? Or do you want to move him up, down?
Move him all the way. Let me clarify this. If this dude wasn't about to be, 32, 30, I don't know. He's somewhere in there. I know he's in his 30s. This dude would be probably number 1 on our list. For next year, move him all the way to the front of the A's. Everybody's anticipating his decline, but I still feel I'm comfortable putting here at the lead of the pack right here in the A's. For me, if you got Derrick Henry, once again, he could put you in the championship game solely by himself. Derrick Henry is that dude. For me, also, I want to put Jacobs in front of Aaron Jones because of what he did last year. Aaron Jones has never won a rushing title. Jacobs did it. So let's move him in front of Jones.
All right. Sounds good.
And I want to work with I feel good. I feel good about that. one. So next, can't forget about this guy in the A's. And when you're talking about consistency and you're talking about what this guy has done throughout his career in Minnesota, give me Dalvin Cook all day, every day. Dalvin Cook, he can still get it done. Dude's been very, very, very consistent, man. And that for me, that is what you want when you're setting your lineup every week. You want that guy to get you those points that you need to win the week. And this guy does not disappoint. So Dalvin Cook here for me.
That's actually the other guy I was talking about when I mentioned Henry. I think Cook, he was very productive last year when he was healthy. And even though, he's getting up there in age, I think, he hasn't showed that he's slowing down. The only thing keeping him, from being productive is health. So hopefully that can be a little more consistent. But if he's in there, he's a set it and forget it guy. You don't have to worry
Absolutely.
about him. You just start him and, focus on the other positions. So,
Absolutely.
um, let's see who's next. Mm,
I think there's a couple more B's or A's, sorry, and then we can go to the B's. A's are those guys, those dudes who have been elite to me that I feel like still can be elite, and they can still, you know, they have any they have any and all possibilities of winning rushing titles. Like all these dudes right here on your screen can be the number one running back at any moment, at any time in the National Football League.
I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but I think based on his production last year, it was his rookie year, but I think he performed extremely well once he became sort of the bell cow for that offense. Um, Obviously, Rashad Penny is no longer in Seattle, and I think he takes another step. And for me, he's going to be potentially, one of the leading running backs, if not the leading rushing running back in the NFL this year. I don't know if you agree with that. I know he's still young and kind of unproven, but I think what he did last year, once he got a chance, he kind of had a slow start, but once he got a chance, he was getting he's making a lot of plays. So that's what I have here still in the A column. What do you think about that?
Like it. I mean, I like K9, man. That dude's a dog, man. Everybody, he got off to a little slow start there in Seattle, and then boy, when they took the leash off of K9, he let them know, oh, that boy was in the end zone, baby. Uh, I like K9 there. He can stay. One more here for the B's, or for the A's, in my opinion. Can't have this discussion without putting man, Joe Mixon, man. Joe Mixon, he's been good. He's been good. He's in a great offense. Man, Joe Mixon has been pretty reliable, and I like him. Started out a little slow, out of college, but man, boy, this dude's been consistent. I like Joe Mixon. In a great offense with Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Boyd. Um, you know, I like Mixon, so this is my guy here.
All right. I think for me, the next guy that I want to add here, I think he's borderline AB. I think more B, but for me is Travis Etienne. I think what he brings out of the backfield in the passing game as well as rushing. I mean, he's just very, very productive. I think last year, obviously, technically it wasn't his rookie year, but technically it kind of was since he was out all of his rookie year. He showed what we thought he was going to show us coming out of Clemson. So for me, he's sort of borderline AB, just a little bit more B than A at this point. I like to see what he does next year under that offense, especially after we saw the sort of breakout season that we kind of expect from Trevor Lawrence. I think that can only help, especially having Ridley there too. That can only help, kind of lighten the box and allow him to have a little more room to run, as well as just catch it out of the backfield. So for me, he's kind of borderline AB, but I think he's probably the top of the beast for me right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for my next pick, for all you Dallas Cowboys fans, I live here in Dallas, and last year I saw one of the best running backs I've seen in a while here in Dallas. His name is Tony Pollard, and this dude right here, ain't nothing left to be said, man. He broke out in a big way last year. I'm moving him into the A's. I'm gonna let you decide who you want to take out of there, but Tony Pollard, totally slept on him. Dude took over the Cowboys backfield. He ran Zeke out of town. That's hard to do, man. When you pay a running back $90 million and your backup ends up being better. Tony Pollard, baby, give him to me. I like him here. And if you can buy him in Dynasty Football, you should have bought him last year or the year before that, because he's no longer obtainable at this point. He is going to be very expensive. Tony Pollard, dude, elite last year, man. Top 5 running back. Mark this down. I said it. Tony Pollard was a top 5 running back last year. So Tony Pollard needs to be in the A's.
Okay. Well, I put him in the A's. I moved Mixon down just because he was the last A. So that's how it goes. For me, I just worry a little bit about the injury, but if he can come back healthy, I mean, he's definitely going to be the guy there in Dallas. So I'm not too worried unless they, draft Zeke or Gibbs or something crazy, or not Zeke, sorry, Bijan Robinson or Gibbs. Geez, I don't know why it's a Zeke. He's not in this list.
Zeke might come back, man. So they're talking about maybe re-signing him on the low, but we'll see. Bring him back. I don't think they're bringing him back.
For me here in the B's, I got to go with a guy who I think he was probably one of the. I think he was a sure, a can't miss prospect last year, coming out of Iowa State. I think he, towards the end, before he got hurt, before he tore his ACL, he showed he can be elite. He just didn't get a chance. Some might say he was the top, vote getter for the Rookie of the Year offensively, but unfortunately injuries kind of cut down his season short. But I think, ACLs are not what they used to be. It's so I think he's going to be back stronger, faster, and he's going to come back and potentially be an A next year. But as of right now, I'm putting him in the B's.
Awesome. Next running back I got, don't know what happened to this guy, man, but God, AK-47 used to be that dude. I can't put him any more lower on this list just because I know what he can do. Give me Alvin Kamara right here, man. Alvin Kamara has got to be in there with the B's just because we know what he can do. And before last year, dude was Mr. Reliable. He was right up there in the A's, comfortably in the A's. At one point in his career, he was in the, elite tier. No doubt in my mind, Alvin Kamara deserves to be here. He's earned everyone's respect. I mean, he's got to be there for me. So Alvin Kamara here.
Yeah, that's a great selection. I mean, he was, I was a little, I was surprised in 2 different ways. One, I was kind of let down by his performance last year. But 2, I was kind of expecting some kind of suspension, which never happened. So I don't know if it's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. Long story short, if he can have a bounce back year,
I don't mean to interrupt you, man. But I think it had to be solely on the quarterback not being able to move that offense. I mean, they had Dalton in there all last year. I mean, you're going to stack the box and shut down the running back because Dalton's just, man, okay, who's scared of Dalton? I mean, really.
Yeah. No, yeah. And then now that obviously they have Carr and it'll be different, but I wonder if also some of that personal off the field stuff is kind of weighing on him, whether he's going to get suspended or not. Oh, yeah. I'm just curious to see how that's going to happen. They haven't really said one way or another. So, yeah. No, I like the pick here. He's definitely in the B's, could be in the A's, could still, I mean, he can still play. So he could maybe even find his way to the elites again. Yeah. He's still young enough to do that. So, yeah. For me, the next guy,
tough. It's getting tough. Now, this is where your rankings start getting a little, you got to start rolling the dice. You got to start knowing what they've done in their past. You got to start knowing, hey, are they with a new team? Has a new team brought this running back more value now? There's several different factors when we get to this point.
I'm going to go with Swift here. I think obviously we obviously Montgomery was brought there to kind of be his partner in crime there, but I think he is sort of similar to Jamal Williams that plays for the Saints now. In the sense that he may take some goal line carries for sure, but I don't think he's going to take too much of his workload. He's a great receiver. He can run it. The question is, can he stay healthy? He had some injuries last year too. Actually, he's had kind of injury concerns since he started, but I think his potential is there. I think he deserves to be in the Bees. And let's see what happens this year. Maybe he gets bumped up.
Absolutely. Great pick, man. Great pick. Man. Let's do this. I don't know who some of these people are, but I know my guy in Houston, right? I know my guy in Houston needs to be on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Dameon Pierce. Find me an icon. We're going to use this as Dameon Pierce. He ain't on here for us, but find me someone on here that we can substitute for Dameon Pierce, because Dameon Pierce needs to be on this block. Dameon Pierce is a dude, man. He is a baller. And
this one cool?
Yeah, that one's perfect. This
All
is
right.
Dameon Pierce, everybody. And looks a little bit like Maurice Jones-Drew to me, but we're gonna go Dameon Pierce here. Definitely needs to be in the Bees. Man, if they wouldn't have shut him down the last 3 games, easy 1,000-yard back. You could tell last year in preseason that dude was about to just come in and eat the league alive. I actually own him in our Dynasty League. Did have to give up ETN to get him and a few other guys, but feel good about who I ended up getting back in that trade. So Dameon Pierce here for me in the Bees.
Okay. I think for me next is going to be Miles Sanders. This is Miles Sanders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with Carolina Panthers now, they lost Foreman, who was their kind of go-to guy when he was healthy after the McCaffrey trade. So I think they're building something kind of special there. They have a top defense. Their line's pretty good. The only question really is the receivers, which they have Thielen now, but question from like Marshall and some of the other younger guys they have there. Definitely a question at quarterback. Maybe it's CJ Stroud, maybe it's Richardson, maybe it's Bryce Young. We don't know yet, but I think whoever that quarterback is actually good. I think they have a real chance to be successful right away. Maybe not, elite or anything, but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Definitely with the rookie bumps and bruises, but I think they have a good chance because they have a good team around them. And I think having Miles Sanders there, who kind of essentially broke out, he did what we thought he was going to do out of Penn State, but he didn't quite put it together until last year for sure. With the Eagles, crazy run offense. So I think he continues to play well, and I think he belongs here.
Awesome. Yeah, man, I like Miles. I did draft him and, ended up shipping him off after the 0 TD season. He made me pay for it last year. He had a bounce back season. Happy for Miles Sanders. Hopefully he can continue it there and with the Panthers. Next off the line, I'm gonna go a little bit different direction here. I'm gonna go. Man, it's hard, man. This is where you start getting into your injury prone guys. You start getting into your everyone thinks may be completely washed. Seeing what this guy is and where he goes, I feel like if he leaves Dallas and goes somewhere else and starts, it's going to piss him off, and he's going to have a bounce back season. Give me Ezekiel Elliott here. I feel like this is a good spot for him.
C's?
Nah, he needs to be in the C's. Because he ate too goddamn much, and he completely wasted his career pretty much by being super, super cocky here in Dallas. Got that big contract, got fat, got slow. Pretty much gave up the NFL life for the party life. One of those guys. get your shit together, Zeke. We need you back in Dynasty football. We like to see you eat. We want to see you eat them yards, not them calories. So get back to being Zeke, man. But for now, for me, he could land in a spot to where he's starting. The Eagles could pick him up. Any of these teams, running back needy teams, could snatch him up, and immediately this dude bumps up into the B's or possibly A's, just on what his talent is. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you some slack here, Zeke. Hopefully you'll get your shit together and we can put you back up in the upper tier. But for now, he's my first off the line here in the C's.
I actually have a guy here who I think belongs in the B, but I think the only question is, how he's going to be used. Last year, he was, sharing the backfield with Aaron Jones. I think he's definitely better than Zeke. I don't know if we think about bumping him to.
Yeah, hey, let's do this.
Guard.
Let's put Pierce down in the C's. No. Let's put Kamara down in the C's because he's dipped, and we'll put AJ Dillon up there at the end. Because I feel good about that.
As a fantasy, maybe not necessarily as a NFL running back, but as a dynasty or fantasy running back,
yeah,
he wasn't a set it and forget it quite guy, like getting you 20 points or whatever. But I think he was consistently getting you between maybe 6 to 10 points and sometimes more. So I think as in the running back position with not a lot of set it and forget it guys, I think especially if Aaron Jones, something happens to him, God forbid, please no. But if something happens to Aaron Jones, I think the value is there for him to be in the A's for sure, potentially with the way, especially with, if Love is going to be the quarterback, they're probably going to, rely on the run game even more. So let's see what happens there. But I think he deserves to be in the B's. I was kind of unsure because of his, the way they use him. And he's sort of like, even though he's sort of definitely not a starter, he plays a lot more than just handcuffs. So I think he plays enough to where he has some value and definitely has some value catching the ball as well. So let's see what happens there.
Awesome. Yeah, I like it, man. AJ, I drafted him a few years ago. I shipped him off too last
year. You've traded like 5 running backs that are.
Your boy gets some sticky fingers at night, or I'll start drinking and then I'll drunk trade. But that's for another conversation. So don't drink and trade, guys. Do not. Very bad.
That's almost as bad as drinking and texting.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. Next guy off the board here. Just on where he was drafted, God, man, it's between 2 guys for me right here. Give me J.K. Dobbins. Man, give me J.K. Dobbins here.
Is this him?
Yeah, J.K.
It's hard to tell.
There. Yeah.
I think he's above Zeke. Sorry.
Yeah, I think so.
We keep bumping people. Zeke down.
Poor Zeke, buddy. You got to keep rolling down the list, man. This is fall from grace right here. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins, tore his knee up. I think it was a lot worse than everybody thought. I think they just thought he had a torn ACL. He had it repaired. They needed to go back and clean it up last year. He sat out pretty much a year and a half of football. He came back. He started clicking, after they cleaned it up the second time. And he ended up being what everybody thought J.K. Dobbins could be. So ending the year the way he did last year, everyone's for me, I don't see him not being 1,000-yard back next year. Hopefully he can come in there and wreck shop for the Ravens and be everything they thought he was going to be coming out of Ohio State. So J.K. Dobbins here for me.
All right. For me here, I think this guy, they kind of figured a little bit how to use him towards the end of the season. He's definitely dynamic. I wonder how his usage, I'm talking about James Cook here. I'm wondering how they're going to use him now that Harris is there, which, he also needs to be, I think, in this C list, but I don't know. I think he could definitely be better than a C, but, he played in New England, so who knows, how that is with the running back situation in New England. So But yeah, I think James Cook, he offers a lot out of the backfield receiving wise. Definitely a threat to take it to the house at any point. It's just a matter of usage for him. I think he could definitely be in the B's, but they need to use him. And also the problem here though too is that Josh Allen likes to run the ball too, so they do a lot of RPOs, and a lot of times Allen likes to keep that. So that's part of the issue with Bills running backs. But I think he could definitely be in the B's. It's just a matter of, if they use him a little more, and if, maybe Josh Allen runs a little less, which in my opinion, he should, because I don't think, even though he's big, he's not going to stay healthy if he continues to, lead the team in rushing yards, basically. Maybe not, but, close. So that's what I have here.
All right. Well, since you mentioned that, and since you mentioned the team that I totally slept on this guy, man. What are we thinking here? This guy needs to be at the beginning of the C's, and he is a New England Patriot. I don't think his little icon is on our chart here, but Ramondre Stevenson.
I think that's why we forgot about him.
Yeah, let's go
because the icon's not there.
Use Rojo up there, because Rojo ain't elite. He don't even belong in the C's. Put him.
Sounds good.
Put him at the beginning of the C's. Ramondre Stevenson. He has been electric coming out of Oklahoma. He ran pretty much Damian Harris out of town. Damian Harris is now with the Bills. For me, Ramondre looks like he's that guy coming out of Oklahoma. He's got the pedigree, coming out OU back. Looked great. I mean, can't go wrong with Ramondre here in the C's.
No, I agree. Actually, if the picture was there, maybe we would have picked him. But that's a good point, man. And actually, I think, speaking of New England, how they use their running backs, and for a long time, especially dynasty circles, is kind of a mystery. You never know, if your running back plays for New England, you never know who's going to play, who's going to be the focus of the offense that day. It's kind of scary to start a New England running back. Stevenson, though, has kind of broken that mold a little bit. And when he does play, they have fed him the ball. So maybe he could actually be, a little more reliable, especially with Harris being, in Buffalo now. But great pick and good point on him, needing to be in this tier. And for me next, and I don't know how much more we need to go for sure, but I can think of at least two guys who need to be on this list. And for me, I think it needs to be Javonte Williams. I think, obviously he was sort of, he had a good rookie season, and then we're expecting kind of him to take that second step in his second year. And unfortunately he hurt himself early in the season. But I think I guess it remains to be seen what they do at the running back position. I heard they might draft a running back. That's sort of the rumor there. So I don't know, but if he comes back healthy, the way he played North Carolina and the way he played his rookie year, he could definitely be in line to be in the B section of this tier system. But as of right now, because there's some little unknowns, I'm going to have him in the C's here.
Awesome. I really think, there's 5 more running backs that we could even put on this list. Everyone else that I'm seeing is like, man, it just ain't cutting it no more for me, man. Next off the line,
more in the C's, like.
Yeah. Next off the line, and I think the last person that deserves to be in the C's, give me James Conner, man. James Conner. He led the league in touchdowns year before last, not last year. That was Jamal Williams, but year before last, this dude had 18 touchdowns. 18 touchdowns. That's a good amount of touchdowns. So he was top 10 running back, man. Led the league in TDs. And here we have him in the C's. But that offense ain't what it used to be. Hopkins probably leaving. Murray's kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel he's where he needs to be at this point. James Conner, right here for me.
Well, I think there's one more guy. No, I said maybe two, but that's not the one I was thinking. I was thinking of Harris in Buffalo, and obviously, obviously, him being there. Singletary is gone. Singletary's gone.
Yeah,
These are the
yeah.
Texans. Obviously, they need someone to take kind of that early down back carries.
Well, they got James Cook too, so
Yeah, but James Cook has been, I mean, he's kind of a small running back. I see him more
yeah.
as a third down receiving running back. I mean, he can
Mhm.
run still, but um, there's a reason Harris is there, especially after losing Singletary. So, well, they have Hines too. Anyways, well, do they have Hines still?
Yeah, they have Naheem
Yeah, they have
Hines.
Hines.
Yeah,
So,
he's there.
anyways, yeah, I think he belongs in the C's based on production. I mean, if he's healthy, he has played well. Obviously, that's why Stevenson's higher because he hasn't been on the field available, which is kind of the key to being a good player in the NFL is to be available. That for me, that's the last of the C's, and everyone else is kind of like either a handcuff or kind of
All right, so here we
lock.
go. I'm gonna start this one off. I'm gonna pick three. You pick three. This is
Okay.
our like rapid pick part. So I'm gonna pick three guys, and I'm gonna name them. They're not on this list, but I'm gonna name them.
Okay.
For me, easy. Starting off this list with Isaiah Pacheco. We'll use CEH here for him.
Well,
Then
he should probably be a C, right?
Oh, definitely in front of Damian Pierce. I'm thinking that's who
Dameon
I would
Pierce.
buy. Yeah, I would definitely buy him. I would actually put him. I would, yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely put him like right there.
Man, I hate
Next,
that this tier system is missing
yeah,
players and we
yeah,
forget
man,
people.
it's tough. It's rough out here in the off season for us. Um, so next, just because of he was 1,000-yard rookie back last year. Give me someone for Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier needs to be on this list as well. Plays for the Atlanta Falcons. We'll just use that one. That's perfect.
Put him in the
Uh,
B's.
yeah, not the B's, not yet. Probably right in there, comfortably in the C's.
Okay.
Yeah, and then one more for me. I'm gonna go Cordero Patterson just because of. Well, no. Put him back because now Algier's there. Give me David Montgomery.
C's or B's?
Yes. Yeah. See, just because he has to split carries with Swift.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have a lot more, but I think I guess it depends where this guy goes. I think Madison, or is he a free agent?
No, Madison. I think he re-upped to stay
No,
there in
the
Minnesota.
Vikings.
Hey,
Well,
there
I
is
think
one more. There is one more. What about Cam Akers? You think he's worthy of a C spot?
not a C spot.
What about Brian Robinson?
Oh, Brian Robinson could be. He's not on here either, so
Yeah, it's tough because we don't have an
Jeez.
icon.
Let's just put this guy.
Nah, that's that could be Brian Robinson, even though that's Antonio Gibson, which
I know,
man,
but
poor.
I don't know what he did there, but he was kind of in the doghouse for a while there. So,
Yeah,
actually, hold on. Let's make
that one.
this
Yeah,
guy.
that's the one I was thinking. That's
Guy
all.
Robinson. I think Gibson. He's still young. It's just a matter of him kind of.
What about this Kareem Hunt going to a starting position? Who knows?
I mean, I think he's definitely deserves to be up here.
Oh, absolutely, Kareem Hunt. Definitely.
He just obviously with everything that happened in Kansas City, he kind of had to take what was available, which was the backup job with the Browns, and he's made the best of it. He's definitely talented. He can run it. Obviously, he's fast. Maybe I don't know if he's lost a step quite yet, but he's getting up there in age. He can definitely catch it. So Good guy
Absolutely.
here. I'll put Akers up here just
There you go.
because
There you go.
he's, I guess, technically their starter right now. So,
Yeah. And
but
on to the D's. the do not starts. I don't know,
should
man.
Singletary be? I mean, he's probably going to take a backseat to Pierce, but
100% taking a backseat to Pierce. He will be a nice third down complimentary
maybe
passing
he'll
back.
be the beginning of the
Oh,
D's.
I love him as a compliment to Pierce. When they drafted him, and I'm a Pierce owner, by the way. Okay, I own him on my dynasty team.
He's the one running back that he did not trade away. No, I'm just kidding.
I will not. I will not trade him away. Unobtainable. So call me crazy, but I think he's a top 10 back next year. I mean, I see it coming. The writing's on the wall. Dude plays with his, like his hair's on fire. So for me, bringing in Singletary to take some pressure off him so you don't run him into the ground. He had a shit ton of carries last year. Singletary is very, very underrated, man. Very underrated. He looked great in Buffalo last year, and glad the Texans got him, man. I'm happy about this guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure the D's are exactly don't start, but I think if they, if there are injuries, which obviously for your sake there aren't, but I think Singletary could be a good, a good start if there's injuries, or if for some reason they decide to, split carries more than we expect.
Yeah.
I think the same could be said for Madison. Actually, you know what, dude? I think Madison should be. I think it should be at the end of the season.
Okay.
Just because when Cook has been down,
it's
kind of like it's kind of like Stevenson, almost like instant, like you got to start him, and he's gonna put up 15 points. So, I didn't think about that, but man, we should have started at the bottom. I think. Actually, we should have started with a thing that had more pictures.
Yeah, we got a few more here. We got a few more here that I'm gonna put even startable in the D's. I'm gonna go ahead and end our list out here so we can wrap this episode up for you guys. For me, next off the board is gonna be playoff Lenny. Give me Leonard Fournette. Next, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I think this is Mostert, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Mostert. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to get a running back finally. I mean, I think they've been wanting to get one for the last 3 drafts and they haven't. So even if they do, if he's able to stay on the field, I think he's definitely starter level. It's just a matter of him staying, healthy, which is why he's not in the C's. I mean, he can take it home any time. And the way they throw the ball there's so much room for him to run that it's just health is an issue for sure. And, let's see what happens with the draft.
I got to do this, man. And I'm going to end our episode here with a surprise. Move this guy up. Move him up in front of Kareem Hunt, Cordell Patterson, because this dude can turn it on. You talk about a guy that can have a game and can get you points, just wow, and in more than one ways. Cordell Patterson. We're sleeping on him right now because of Algier, but Cordell Patterson deserves to be in the C's, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree. I mean, maybe things change with the draft, or maybe things change with Ritter's evolution and learning, having 1 year under his belt. Maybe they become more of a balanced attack. But even if they don't and they run the ball like they did last year, there's enough ball for both Algiers and Patterson to be definitely startable for sure. Even if it's like a RB2 or flex, just because of carries. Obviously, if Algiers comes out as the lead guy, he's probably going to get a bump here. But if they run the ball like they did last year, hopefully not. But if they do, why not?
Absolutely, man. Hey, are you happy with this? Are you good? This is our 2023 running back Dynasty Football rankings. I'm proud of it. Are you proud of it, man?
No, I feel good about it. I'm excited to see where these running backs go. We're originally going to try to add the rookies to this tier system, but unfortunately, with that, with the draft not happening just yet, I think landing spots are so much more important than even quarterbacks, because quarterbacks, obviously landing spots are important, but I think quarterbacks we kind of know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
And it's really not that big of a difference as far as performance, where they go. But running backs for sure, depending on who's in the roster, the landing spot, whether they like to run the ball, maybe a little more pass happy, whether they have a guy like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson that like to run the ball themselves.
Yeah.
So we'll be coming out with one with rookies included once the draft happens and we have an idea or we know where they're going. But I'm really happy with what we did here.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hope you like and subscribe our videos. Please leave a comment of what you guys think down below. We work hard week in and week out to try to bring you guys the best videos we can. We try to give you guys a little bit more in-depth on who you're drafting, who you're getting here. And I hope you guys appreciate it. Please follow, like, subscribe. We're on Instagram. Hit us up anywhere, guys. We love to answer questions, and we hope to see you follow us on our journey. As always, Dynasty Football out.